Hey guys, Yen here, and today I'm going to be talking about how I went from $0 to $10 million with dropshipping. These will just be some of the lessons that I've learned in the past year or two, and I may be missing some things out here, but just bear with me. These are the things that stood out the most to me. I'm not going to be really getting into the technicals of things because there's already tons of content on that. Instead, I'm going to be talking to you guys more about mindset and approach to certain things such as Facebook ads and how you should utilize Facebook ads. And maybe at the end of this video, you will kind of have a sense of direction and what you should be doing to get to the same level as I am. And maybe it's just one slide within this video which really gives you the key to getting to $1 million months or more. So let's just get started. A bit about me and some background information. I started dropshipping towards the end of 2018, and around this time I also got kicked out of my university program because I finished with a 1.1 GPA, and that in itself would set me back about 2 to 3 years from my ultimate goal, which was getting into business school. The university I went into, you had to go through a prerequisite year and finish prerequisite courses, but I just was not getting in. So the only thing I knew after that was dropshipping, so I decided to give it a try. In 2019, I finished the year close to $1 million in revenue. In 2020, I finished the year with just over $10 million in revenue. I've always been into community building, and I love building systems ever since I was a kid. I love to break things apart and put them together and see how things connect and work. I used to run paid ads on Roblox back in 2016 to grow groups and get games to the front page. I used to help sellers strategize course selling on online forums back in 2017, and that helped me pay for a lot of things through university. And I guess these are the things that I did as a child which really gave me that winning edge. Not everyone has this edge. Everyone is unique in their own circumstances and the way they're brought up and their whole experience. So I have a book recommendation for you guys, which is called Mental Models, because the way I grew up and experienced things, it kind of helps me connect and break down certain things when I'm learning, right? Especially when it comes to marketing. So I really recommend you guys read that book. And I know what it's like to start from scratch, because after university I only had $5,000 in my big account, and I was literally just left with $15,000. I paid $15,000 of student loans just to get kicked out. So there's a lot of gurus that claim a lot of numbers online. So let me show you guys my results with refreshes, even my Facebook ad account. This isn't from any kind of branded store. This is pure dropshipping. So you guys are learning from someone that has actually pieced together concepts you guys are learning from YouTube and courses to get results via dropshipping. So now that you've seen the numbers, I want you guys to know that this is a process. You guys just have to trust it, follow the footprints, and reverse engineer. You will only be able to scale to what your systems will allow you to, and when you push over, you will get negative feedback, which will reveal the areas you have to fix. Fix them rather than circumventing. And I know you guys can relate to this. Almost everyone that's done dropshipping relates to this, and now we've clearly identified it. So let's say when it comes to payment processing holds, what's the root problem of it? Logistics, risk, and product, Facebook customer feedback, shipping times, customer service, product quality. You know that, right? I know this too. Whatever you did to get you off your feet isn't going to keep you where you are, and it isn't going to take you further. You need to keep upgrading and sharpening your edge. So here are some questions to ask yourself. What strategies and systems are people following to get from 0 to 100K, 100K to a million to 10 million, 10 million to 100 million? What are the common mistakes and problems you see these people encountering, and how did they overcome it? More importantly, how are they using their money, leverage, skills, systems, and time? You gotta reverse engineer, and you gotta understand that there are levels to this. And as you advance, you will gain momentum. Here's a common problem we can all relate to as well. Scaling from 0 to 100K too fast. Everyone has experienced this. We start off using AliExpress and using Oberlo or de-essers to fill orders, or we use an unreliable supplier without knowing it. We'll get banned from slow shipping, so our customer feedback score will suffer. Slow shipping will result in higher chargeback rates, and you may even get confused and start advertising from other profiles, which then you get banned for circumventing, and it just becomes an absolute nightmare for you because you're just rushing things too hard. This is your very first time in business. The solution is to just take it slow, focus on quality, building your cash, building out your systems before scaling. You're not going to scale if you don't have the excess cash anyways, because what if something goes wrong, right? Make sure you have decent quality product and or you aren't over promising. Switch to a reliable supplier or improve customer service. Payment processors do not like spikes in sales, right? They view everything as risk, right? They judge everything in terms of risk. And if you want to learn more about payment processing or you need a reliable supplier, just join my Discord group in the description. It's completely free. There's a whole dedicated payment processing agent in there that's down to answer all your guys' questions and to work with you guys. What's another way to scale? We can scale by optimizing, and that helps us avoid the pitfalls that I mentioned in the previous slides. You don't have to think of scaling only in monetary terms. You can optimize your business to scale. It's better to do 100K over 3 months with the potential to do another 300K over the next 3 months rather than doing 100K in 1 month and then 0 in the next 6 months because you triggered Facebook and payment processing and now you have to get that solved. So it's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Business is not always full throttle. If you aren't getting the results you want, you need to change something about your business, the way you're approaching it, whatever strategy you're following. You need to always keep improving. If you want to make more money, you need to put more money in, more time in. If you're putting 10% more in, you need to make sure you're getting 10% more out. So the 80-20 rule. 80% of the results come from 20% of the effort. Here's a question I want to ask you. And this is something I've learned over a period of time here after following a bunch of these dropshipping strategies. Would you rather keep testing products once you found a winner to generate small amounts of revenue for a short period of time? Or would you rather test to find a winner, which then you go all out on to generate a bigger amount over a longer period of time? What are all the people doing $100 million a year doing, right? And also know that when you do hear about these, let's say, I don't know, Singaporean dropshippers, Chinese dropshippers, or, Steve Tan Brothers, or whoever, dropshipping tons of products, you have to realize that that's just only one model and you don't have to follow that model, and you got to understand how they got there, and they may be hiding some context that we don't know, right? You don't want to get misled like that, right? The important thing is you understand the pitfalls that are involved in scaling to that point, and then really building systems in order to sustain that type of business model. So last year, 20% of my stores and products generated me 80% of my revenue. Why would I need to test load of products over and over and expose myself to risk when I have a perfectly good and scalable product? I could just focus on quality, optimization, and expand on it. Again, this is just up to the way you want to build out your business. Steve Tan and all those people, they do it through volume. You can absolutely do that. It just depends on what you want to do and how you want to build out your systems and whatever works for you. So the risks include Facebook bans, DMCAs, payment processor headaches, logistics, and you guys already have been through all this. And again, there are levels to all this. You're not going to go all out on a product and brand it and everything right away if you haven't tested it or have built the proper foundation, the proper systems, right? Dropshipping is a great way to learn everything you need to know, and it's also very cost effective. So let's get into product research. It's quite straightforward to me, and it's almost common sense once you understand what it takes to sell a product. You can learn more about product research on my channel or just by watching any other YouTube videos. There's no need to overthink it. In a nutshell, I like products that have a broad audience appeal for its scalability. I like products that can be sold through multiple advertising channels. I like products that has a suitable profit margin, evergreen products, and can be impulsively purchased. For beginners, you need a product which you can create a creative with easily. You need to be able to source clips yourself or have plenty of clips online to work with. I would suggest you guys learn a bit of how to create your own creatives rather than hiring some other service, as it would deepen your understanding of direct response and design. And these are just some of the criteria, but even then, I'm not always following it one for one. It's kind of just common sense at this point. Costs for sourcing creatives and manufacturing, including lead times, are something I put emphasis on. Then I would test for demand and scale. So here are some creative sourcing clips. Beginners, find a product that has a lot of clips that sell the product well, not just any random products, right? This comes to your eye for just understanding how to sell, consumer behavior, direct response marketing. The more clips you have to work with that show uses, demonstrations, UGC, the more selling angles you can test. And that's super, super important on Facebook. There are risks that come with this. When you're grabbing and stitching videos from that other people make, there are obviously risks that come with this. So beware if you're testing super well-known products. or content creator clips. Once you've built up cash, invest your money back into custom creative as soon as possible. Use mini social or Blyuss for user generated content. You can record clips on your own or with your friends rather than use an agency like eCommerce. You can use Dribble for 3D content and animations, and just really get creative. Just see what these other big brands are doing and just copy them. Where you're creating your own content, you're also taking that variable out and reducing risk on the Facebook ad side. So you're not exposing yourself to, the chance of you getting banned, right? If you know the best practices, always to be testing creative, and that's the key to maintaining consistency and scale, then just do it. Because once you're making money, to make more money, you need to put your money to work. Because whatever you did at the start, which is stitching YouTube videos together over and over, isn't gonna work when you're at scale, right? So dedicate a budget to content every month or week. Build a team or network of content creators and recycle content with them. So let's go into a bit more about creatives. I got some tips for you guys. Also, if you guys are liking this content and format, please let me know in the comments. Give me a like, share my video. I would really appreciate it. So follow a proven structure when creating your creatives and build your creatives in a modular way. It allows you to sequence your ad to convey your selling point in the most clear, simple, and effective way to get your customer to take an action. You structure your ad in a modular way so you can know what's working and what isn't. It's a system so you can plug and play and test very fast without causing too much confusion for yourself or your target audience. Best targeting is targeting with your creative or ad level targeting. Ultimately, you want to focus on the people that care about your ad and what you have to offer, not the people that don't care and have low intent. And Facebook will do a lot of the heavy lifting to find those type of people, but it's your guys' job as direct response marketers to make sure your creative and your funnel is clear enough. So test multiple angles with different creatives to find the people that care. This is why I choose broad appeal products, because it's highly scalable. I don't really have to focus on interest targeting. There's a lot of room for testing, and it places a heavy emphasis on my ads and creative and offer. So a bit more about Facebook ads. Understand Facebook ads is important, but the more important things are your product choice and your ability to create high converting creative and funnel around it. And here are some equations I have here to really show you guys the things that matter. So we have a high demand product plus converting creative plus any cookie cutter Facebook ad strategies that you see on Facebook equals profitable sales. High demand product plus converting creative plus best Facebook ad strategy equals highly profitable sales. Low demand product, bad creative plus best Facebook ad strategies equals little to no sales. So we can see that high demand product and converting creative is very important. And then you guys can just pause the video to see the last 3 equations. So there are already tons of Facebook ad strategy videos out there. So let me talk about something else here. The best strategies revolve around understanding the scalability of your product and funnel. You will clearly know a product is a winner because of the velocity or momentum in sales and return on ad spend as you increase budget, as you test more audiences, more interest, horizontally scale, vertically scale, whatever you do, and with time. So the best strategy also gives power to the algorithm. Set your ad account and targeting that allows the algorithm to do its magic, i.e. broad targeting and placing an emphasis on your creatives. You want to constantly test and optimize your funnel, your business and ads. You want to follow a system so you can understand what's working and what's not. You want to test a lot of strategies because one strategy that may work for another person, even though it's the best strategy or the best practice, may not work for you. So you just gotta test different strategies. Every media buyer follows a different strategy, but they all, tie very similar principles together, right? So you wanna test them and scrap what doesn't work. You wanna place emphasis on your creative, your funnel, offer, and product as they are the key piece to your success on Facebook ads. Don't get emotionally attached to an ad or a product. Follow a system so you can cut losers fast. Let potential winners play out and double down on the big winners. Facebook is very smart, so you will be able to figure out what is working very quickly and what isn't. So a bit on multi-channel advertising. Many foundational principles you learn on Facebook, such as consumer behavior, product selection, can apply to many other advertising channels, such as TikTok, which is nowadays very huge. You can just hire an agency to handle your other paid channels, such as Google, if you don't have time to learn them. which I did last year, and it brought me an insane amount of return. So I was very happy with that. Even though I paid them tens of thousands of dollars, the return on it was hundreds of thousands. Understand the customer journey and cover them all for maximum profitability and scale. For example, a customer may visit your site, then search your brand up on YouTube. And if your brand isn't on YouTube, they might not have the full trust they need to purchase from your store. So what do? You create retargeting ads on YouTube, or you create just a YouTube channel with your brand, or you work with influencers to create videos to tag your brand and work on that YouTube SEO, right? A customer may visit your site, bookmark it, then forget about it, but has buying intent. They just forgot about it, right? Maybe they were in the middle of something, right? So hit them with email marketing, hit them with retargeting. A customer with buying intent may visit your site, go to your homepage, see a scammy general store products, then be turned off, right? You want to account for that as well when you're at scale. Little details do matter, and it maximizes your potential for success. Just these little things really matter. Place emphasis on retargeting and keep pushing customers down the funnel, such as with collecting email leads. You want to create assets for your brand, for your store, whether it's short-term or long-term, and you really want to squeeze as much revenue out of all of them. So I'm going to finish off with some book recommendations for you guys. Just pause the video, check out these books. So I want to know what you guys learned. Post it in the comments or DM me on Discord. I really hope I taught you guys some new information or revealed some things that you guys may have not known before. But otherwise, if you want to learn more, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram. You guys can check out my little mini course, which is literally only $50 a month, and it's just a passion project. You guys can join my Discord server where you guys can learn even more stuff. Either way, you guys are getting value from whatever you guys do, and I hope to see you guys in the next video, and glad to be on this journey with you guys.